Hey, Jonathan here at Colfax Math. Today I was going to go over some wood joinery and talk about why you use different joints.
Measure the height.
Yeah, no, measure the width from here to here.
Laminated overnight on a CNC cut jig. And this joinery is kind of interesting because it's really kind of a structural strength problem. So I'll go over some of the joints. I guess the most obvious joint's called a butt joint. And that's where you just butt something up like that, and there are multiple different fasteners you could use. One way is you could just glue that joint. The other is you could use pocket hole screws and screw it in that way. You could dowel it, biscuit it, a lot of different options. Problem with the butt joint is it's really weak. Very little glue surface area to hold it together, and then no lateral support at all. So I'll talk a little more about that. So our first one's the butt joint. The next joint's a lap joint, where you cut half of the material out of that and that, and then you overlay the two together. So there's a lap joint. Nice thing about a lap joint is it's pretty easy to make. A lot of surface area for glue. I don't know, that probably quadruples the surface area for gluing. And the other thing about a lap joint that's nice too is you have lateral support. So you have this shoulder to prevent it from rocking. So a lap joint's a nice joint, substantially stronger than that butt joint. Another joint is a miter joint, where you cut two 45s together, and then you could just glue them that way. Has a little more surface area than a butt joint, but not that much more. A lot of different fasteners you can use. You could try and nail it through the corner. You could just glue it, and again, you could use dowel or biscuits to hold them together right there. So again, this is a miter joint. Looks really nice, especially on picture frames or any frames. A little more surface area than a butt joint, but still not that strong. A nice way to increase the surface area and strength of a miter joint is to cut on the edge on the table saw like this and put a spline in there, and that'll give you the ability to hold that flush this way. Strength and a little more surface area. So it's a miter joint. This right here is a rabbet. So when it sits right in there, it's a rabbet. And when it sits in there, it's a dado. So when it's in the groove, it's a dado, and this is a rabbet. So the way I remember all these is miter, that kind of looks like an M. Lap, because you sit down on the lap. Rabbet, because it could jump up and out, and dado, like the Spanish word dado for finger, about the width of a finger. So some of the reasons for this joinery and why there's so many different joints is, like on the butt joint, if I just glue this on here as a butt joint and I put any pressure on there, the only thing holding it is the glue. If I nail or screw through here, the only thing holding it is the nail and the glues. However, if I use a rabbet like this, and I put it in here, the thing holding it is all this wood right here. This has to all crush for this thing to fail. So wood's really good under compression like that rather than tension, and that's kind of how wood's designed to work. So that's why a rabbet is so much stronger. The other reason why a rabbet's strong is you had the original glue surface area of a butt joint plus this additional area here, so you're adding surface area so you get more glue on it. And this is probably the most important idea, is that you're supporting it in two dimensions, right? So you're attached here and here, and really it's not going to fail under compression this way. The other way it could fail is it racking like that. So on a butt joint, it's really easy to rack. Actually, all you have to do is put a little side force on it, and you're really just pulling nails out and breaking that joint. But on this rabbet joint, you have this shoulder here, and that shoulder is giving it support. So for it to rack now, it has to push through that shoulder, if that makes sense. So a rabbet joint's a lot stronger. It's kind of how wood works the best, is under compression like that, and you're supporting it on two sides. They're pretty easy to cut with a dado blade set, or even hand saws. A couple other thoughts too, overview on carpentry. It's kind of primarily two different styles of cabinets. One cabinet is a European style. that has concealed hinges, like that, so they're inside the box. And the other style is a face frame cabinet where you put a face frame over the front of the cabinet and then you have surface mount hinges. So these you would see, this is how it would sit, so you'd be able to see that. So that's a surface mount American style cabinet. And then this right here is a concealed or European style cabinet. This would go inside the box like that and like that, so that the hinge would be concealed. So those are two standards, cabinet style standards, American face frame or European concealed hinge. What else? Then there are three different types, general types of wood. One is a manufactured type of wood. The other is a hardwood and a softwood. In the manufactured type of wood, there's really three manufactured types. MDF, medium density fiberboard. This is really just a bunch of sawdust glued together. Really inexpensive, really easy to machine. However, the dust is really bad for you and it's kind of ugly. So the first manufactured type is MDF. The second is OSB, oriented strand board. This is strong as plywood, but a lot less expensive. Just a bunch of wood chips all glued together under compression. And then the third type is plywood. Plywood is really nice. You can put a beautiful veneer on it. Looks really good, really strong. You have cross grains in plywood. And then the hardwood, you have an incredible variety of hardwoods. And then softwoods, you have an incredible variety of softwoods. So I'll leave it at that. Just a quick overview of joinery, types of cabinets, and the overall categories of wood. So thanks for watching. I'd love to hear your comments below. Subscribe if you like the video. Thank you.